Hey guys, how's it going? Today is March 20th, 2022. Sunday, March 20th. I believe it was St. Patrick's Day weekend or something like that. So, happy St. Patty's Day to all you Irish, folks out there. I hope you guys had a good time. This video is going to be comprised of a couple of different topics. First off, I want to say, if you are, just want to put this out there. Actually, I should have made a separate video talking about this, what I'm about to say, but I'm going to tie it all in here. If you're getting messed with, if you're getting attacked by energy, by spirit from the other side, it's been kind of ramping up recently. Use black tourmaline. Okay. Now this is a really high-end piece of mine. You don't need something like super high grade. You can just get anything. But black tourmaline, and pair it with amazonite as well. Amazonite amplifies the effect of black tourmaline. Black tourmaline gives you that repelling energy. It makes your energy slippery. So when spirit comes and attacks you or tries to screw with you, tries to mess with your thoughts, your mind, your heart, whatever it may be, to get you to hurt yourself, turn against somebody, I don't know. It kind of or just put pressure on you. It kind of repels that. So use black tourmaline. The reason why I mentioned that is because there were 2 dates in the last 3 weeks that were pretty important on the other side. The first date was actually February 28th. The second date was March 11th. When these things happen, the people that are really involved in this, tied in to what's really going on, not some weird new agey esoteric belief or nothing like that, but people who have the real knowledge and can actually see and feel and understand and do it for themselves, and people who are really involved, right? Who can see the other side, understand what's going on the other side and this side as well, will be attacked and ran and messed with, especially when these important dates come about. So whenever you get messed with by energy, by spirit, it's almost tailored to you. It's pretty it's sick actually, but it's how it is. Like that's how the game goes. When they attack you, they screw with you. It's tailored to you. So your insecurities, your weaknesses, your this, your that. They'll exploit them and make them amplify them. So that's how the game works. And or sometimes you could just get messed with and you could just feel like groggy all day or something, and that's just energy hanging on you. Sometimes energy can actually cause physical pain in your body, your heart, your whatever. It's like they can do so many things, and it's just there's been a recent uptick of that. So I wanted to just put that out there. I should have talked about it earlier. Honestly, I've just been kind of caught up. So but I'm sure most of you guys intuitively know by now, like, okay, something's happening on the other side. I'm getting messed with, and, maybe we should watch it for the next couple of days or weeks or whatnot. So anyway, that's that. And this video's topic is going to be about the spiritual awakening, the metaphysical and spiritual awakening, and the path that kind of we all take. I know I made videos about this before, actually, in the past, and a couple actually. One video I think I made I was out on the cliffs or something like that, by the water along the northern coast, and I was talking about, yeah, that's right. I was talking about it was probably a year ago. I was talking about the two sides of the same coin, right? Spiritual awakening, metaphysical awakening are two sides of the same coin. You need both of them to really become fully who you are. And the best word to describe all this is self-awareness. It's an underrated word in the spiritual world, in the metaphysical world, when it comes to like when we're talking about what we're doing right now, waking up spiritually and discovering who we are. Self-awareness, being aware of who you are. So to actually share a quote with you guys, a recent message from the old man, actually. This is so appropriate for this video. It was basically to really understand, to really have an understanding of everything that's been going on, or to understand anything, actually, you first need to know who you are. Okay, you first need to know who you are as spirit, who you are as a sentient energy, not the physical body, Frank, or your physical body, not that. Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about who you really are as spirit, as sentient energy, which is probably very different from your physical body, because the physical body, like I said before, is like a shirt. You put one on, you take one off. Jacket, whatever. you have so many different physical lives and so many different physical bodies in every, culture, race, color, whatever region on the planet, and not only this one but other ones as well. Many other planets, off planets, where we would consider them as ETs or something, aliens. So yeah, to really understand anything, first you got to know who you are as sentient energy. Second, you got to know what's been done to you, what's been going on around you, what's been done to you, and also all the different energy fields and all the different energy and spirit around you as well. Once you have 1, 2, and 3, right? 1 being knowing who you are, the sentient energy, your spirit, being aware of what's kind of been done to you and what's been going on the other side, and then number 3 is being aware of all the other different energy fields. Once you have these 3 basic understandings, you can then begin to formulate something and put something together to really help you understand who you are and what's been going on. Or otherwise, if you don't have that 3 basic foundation, because if you don't have those 3, it's like you're just kind of running around trying to find the answers, because there's something greater than this physical life that we live. There's something much bigger than going to work every day. That, and that's why you're here. And but if you don't have those 3 basic things, it's like you're just kind of running around trying to put something together, and you're going to gravitate towards the first thing that sounds attractive. And there's a whole lot of that going on. There's a whole lot of superficiality. There's a whole lot of sensationalism going on in this world today, especially in this field of spirituality and metaphysics. So that's why people get caught up in all this, fluffy wuffy love and light, new agey, that sounds terrible. It's just what it is. I just have to call things like as they are. It's kind of funny, actually. I've always been like that, and my name is Frank, so it's like you're being frank with something, and people will hit me with that every now and then, that little pun. But I felt compelled to make this video talking about the subject some time ago, because people have been I've been hearing from people from a wide range. Some people have been finally seeing stuff coming together in their lives, and great, awesome, things coming together, events coming together. They're finally seeing the fruition of all the work. Other people are still kind of almost there in the middle, and some people are still, they feel like they're stagnant and maybe not going anywhere, and they maybe a little bit frustrated, whatever. So I wanted to talk about this whole awakening thing and the path that kind of we take, right? When you're born, before you're even actually born, when you're still spirit on the other side, and you're kind of getting ready to go into a physical body. Okay, I'm actually a bit tired. What happens is, as you're getting ready to go into a physical body, first of all, it wasn't always a choice. Okay, as spirit, we go into physical bodies. We go into physical bodies and have physical lives because we want to know what it's like to be in a physical body. Spirit is non-physical, obviously. So being in a physical body, being so tied down, and experiencing that, it's like a school almost for spirit, for us as spirit, to really experience that, to grow and to learn, etc. But sometimes, because of how the other side was ran, you didn't really have a choice. You were forced into a life, to go into a life. Because what happens is, when you go into a physical body, you have a hard life with a lot of strife. You come out, your spirit, your energy grows. Goes from, this big, this big, this big, this big, every life. Okay, so your spirit's growing. You were just kind of being farmed like cattle, almost. Just pumping you up, and that was done by what people want to call God. All the religions call God. So there's 2 scenarios. There's a couple, but there's really there's a couple of there's many different scenarios, but the 2 main ones are basically like either you choose to go into a physical life, or it gets chosen for you. And so what happens is, you don't always choose where you get to go, what you get to do, etc. Sometimes you might. It all depends on what the plan is for you in that physical life. Now, some people like to use the word soul contracts. Okay, you're coming into this life to have a soul contract. to go through a certain event, to live in a certain family, to meet certain people, whatever. I mean, I get the idea of a slow contract, and it's generally speaking, it is like heading towards the right ideology, but I wouldn't personally use that word. It's just, I mean, I guess I would just say it's just like an understanding or an agreement, or that was made between you, the other side, spirit that you were going to be involved with in this life, etc. Sometimes you had a plan. Okay, so sometimes you go into a physical body, there's a plan for you. You're going to be born into this family, and at this age, this thing is going to happen to lead you, to here, and then ultimately you'll be here to where you can do your, fulfill your true purpose of being in a physical body. Not everybody had this grandiose kind of, plan laid out for them. Sometimes people were going into a physical body just to suffer and die. That's actually everybody. Most of your lives is probably like that. It's 8 billion people almost just on this planet alone. Not every last 8 billion person is going to be able to have some ultimate grand finale of them fulfilling their ultimate destination, or of becoming some kind of becoming huge guru or important person or something. It's like it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of suffering, and it's done for a reason. But so you're on the other side. You haven't gone into the physical body yet, and let's say you were given the choice to come into a physical body and choose who you what kind of family you want to be born into, etc. So sometimes you might choose spirit that you've had lives with in the past because it feels more comfortable. That's usually what happens. Sometimes that's just made to happen so that you don't so that in that physical life you feel a little bit more comfortable with the people that you're around, right? A lot, your family, your mother, your father, your siblings, your cousins, whatever, relatives. So that could be a definite scenario. The thing is, a lot of people that are watching this video, or that know me through the spiritual, and the metaphysical, we all probably have, a plan laid out for us in the future. I don't know. It could be, big. It could be small. Whatever it is. But it might have to do with helping people and waking up and waking yourselves up and then waking other people up. It might be something as simple as wake up your family, your kids, your relative, or it might be something bigger. It all depends on who you are as spirit and how well suited you could possibly be for that role. But I wanted to touch on all this because we're getting to that point today. Today's March 20th. We're getting to that point where things are really happening. And I mean, hey, like, there's going to be a lot of madness, a lot of craziness. There's going to be blood on the streets. There's going to be a lot of, for change to happen, it's not going to be a clean transition. You're not going to wake up tomorrow morning and then all of a sudden everything's going to be paid for. All of a sudden you're not going to have to worry about anything. There's no fighting, no more war, no more hunger, no more, going to work. All your bills are paid. It doesn't work like that. I mean, that's fantasy land. That's La La Land. That's not even, that's just not applicable to what we're talking about here. The change that we're talking about is going to be messy, but it's going to be mitigated to keep it at a bare minimum of messiness, I guess. But it's good. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be rough. So I'm hearing from a lot of people, hey, it's like some people things are kicking off awesome. Some people feel like things are still a bit stagnant. Some people feel like they're this and that. And I want people to know we are all, and I mentioned this before, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I said it 5 years ago, I said it 10 years ago before I did YouTube, and I'll say it 10 years from now, I'll say it 20 years from now. We are all at our own pace, okay? we are all at our own pace. So we all wake up at our own pace. Some people wake up faster and things happen for them faster. Some people are more late bloomers, like myself. I'm a definitely I consider myself a late bloomer for sure. And some people, just are in the middle, right? It all depends on your life, your whole set path, your things you have to do in this life, and it all depends on the people around you as well. Also have a big, it's a big factor as well as the people around you, your relationships with people, even your job, even what you're doing in your career. It's all of that factors into if you had a ultimate purpose per se, when that's gonna see itself manifest in the physical world, right? And what you do today, right now, also does affect that because the future is always changing, right? We actually have. It's funny. It's almost sounds like a contradiction in some ways, but the big events in your life are pretty much planned out. But everything you do in between, you might have a little bit of free will, but not much. But you can affect the outcome of the future by what you do, knowingly or unknowingly. Most of the time, unknowingly, because you're just doing it, and you shouldn't live in fear or nothing like that. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna change the future, and that nothing's gonna work out. And it's like, no, it's not how that works. It's just just be, I guess, just be aware that that's a possibility, and never compare yourself to anybody. That's what I really wanted to say here. Never ever compare yourself. You see somebody that might be a little bit ahead or something in what you're doing. It doesn't have to be spiritual, or metaphysical, or waking up, or oh, this person's got a cool job lined up, hopefully in the future or whatever. It can be your own profession. It can be like you're a photographer and somebody else is probably a better photographer because they've had more experience. Never ever compare yourself to anybody. I just understand that we all go through this at our own pace. Some people are ahead, some people are moving right along, some people are just starting, whatever. Nobody is in the wrong place. You're always in the right place at the right time of where you need to be, right? Please don't ever compare yourself and start, because that's where all these negative and emotions and stuff start to pop up. Feelings of envy, jealousy, or even being manipulative or something. And people, everybody's got their own issues, but I want to say, don't compare yourself to anybody. Just keep going, keep it moving, and if whatever it is planned for you in your life, you might see it come forward one way or another. So I can give you a personal example here, and I don't like talking about myself like that too much because I'm not here trying to pump smoke up my own pipes or nothing like that. It's just for context, I guess. I'm just gonna contextualize it with the topic here, and basically for me, I'm nowhere near where I'd want to be. Basically, I a big I guess. A big thing with that was actually COVID. It stopped my ability to talk to people in person, and or not to talk to people. So talk to people. It stopped my ability to have big events, stuff like that, to where people can all get together and like-minded people. That was awesome. I miss that the most. But the future is so uncertain, and right now, today is more volatile than anything like that we've ever seen, because there's nobody actually running the future. There's nobody controlling the timeline, and on the other side you have a timeline that certain events are supposed to play out. That was ran and controlled by what people have been calling God, the first beings who are no longer in charge of that per se. They're no longer there, so everything's just running amok, and people's futures have all been changed. I felt that myself when I first started waking up and they were still around back in 2010. I kind of knew it was okay. I remember actually getting out of school and got my first job, I think, somewhere around 20. Well, that doesn't actually matter, because even before that, I had that feeling in my in my gut, in my soul, intuition, that I knew this life I was going to do something that wasn't going to be so traditional. It's going to be something else, and it had to do with people. I knew that even when I was a kid. I knew, picking a career and doing all this stuff. It's like it just did not resonate with me at all, and like this life's purpose was much different, and that was there was that kind of thing set for me, and then when everything changed, the people that were running the timelines, the future per se, what religions call God, weren't doing it no more because they're out of the picture. Everything, I was like, okay, what do I do now? So now it's like I have this really newfound purpose of really just helping people wake up, and just whatever that manifests into, whatever it evolves into, I don't know. I can't see, and I really don't want to. I like to keep it a surprise, I guess. It's better that way. And I wish I was further along. I really do. So I understand the feeling of like, oh, gosh, looking at somebody or something and like being envious, and it's like, I get it, but it's a pointless emotion or feeling. It's a pointless thought because it really just bogs you down. Never compare yourself to anybody. Just keep doing you. Keep working on yourself. Self-awareness is the key here. Self-awareness, when you're going into the metaphysical and the spiritual awakening, your self-awareness is the key. Just take time to relax and keep just be consistent. It's like going to the gym or doing whatever it is you're doing. Consistency here is the absolute key. And sometimes you might want to opt out and say, okay, well, whatever, nothing's happening, I give up, I don't believe in this stuff no more. Okay, fine. That's your prerogative. I ain't gonna fault you for that or anything. It's people can make their own choices. People can do whatever they want to do. I'm definitely not one to tell people what to do. I totally encourage people to do whatever they want to do because we really don't have much control anyway. We really don't. Like the whole idea of having control or trying to be controlling is just like I don't get it. It's like, how do you not understand? We there's no control in this, especially now. Oh my gosh, it's so volatile. So yeah, and I've just been trotting along, and it's like trying to keep it up. And I know other people I know have been doing the same thing. Awesome, great. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this in my prior videos, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Is like, don't compare yourself to anybody. Just keep going, okay? Like you're really shooting yourself in the foot. People, and this is a pretty complex topic because it all boils down to the individual as well. Some people are just, there's issues there. People have problems. People have issues, and sometimes, it manifests. It comes out, and in different forms and shapes and whatnot. But that's all part of this awakening, is discovering that, finding that, and working on that. So. I recently gave a reading to a couple of people actually, and give you guys an example of this. One friend of mine, she asked me, what do you see for my immediate future? I said, oh, I'll give it a shot. Okay, sure. So I looked, and I was like, oh, you're like getting a raise or something. I don't know. You're getting a promotion at your job. You're getting a raise. I kept seeing her boss and her immediate boss, and then the regional manager was like the big boss. The man was her immediate boss, and the woman was like the regional manager. And she was in the office with them, and they were talking about giving her like a promotion and a raise. And so that's what I told her. And the next day, 1.5 days later, she said, oh, by the way, I got that, I was like, raise and promotion. It's like, oh, good job. Cool. When you're looking into the future, it's extremely volatile. When you're doing anything metaphysical, it's you got to have good discernment. You got to know how to use your abilities and how to get that information, how to pull it in, and you have to have good discernment. So you have to be metaphysically adept, but also you have to have understanding. You have to have good discernment. You have to know what you're doing. Sometimes people just make stuff up. Sometimes people get messed with. It's like there can be a lot of things that can go wrong when looking into the future. That's why I always say, don't hold on to it. because it's like it can change as well. So yeah, it really depends on the person, and that's not like bashing anybody. I'm just, that's just something I've noticed is like in this field overall, right? Whether you go into a stone shop, what I used to do is I still do actually. I go into stone shops and they'll have a wall, okay, posters, right, people, readers, psychics, whatever you call them, past life regression, whatever, and what I do is like I'll look at the poster. Maybe it'll be like five. A big stone shop will have like a dozen people, right? But most stone shops have like two, one, two, three, four, maybe five. And so you look and you just kind of go one by one by one by one, and you feel into them. Okay, so I look at the photo. I don't need the photo, but I look at it and I look into this person. I'll read their energy. I'll say, okay, this one's legit. This person can really pick up energy, understand, feel, see, blah blah blah. And then I look at somebody else, and a dud. Like there's no nice way to say it. A metaphysical dud. And they're doing something. They might be doing like a tarot reading or something. I don't know. I'm not trying to bash them. It's just like I have to call it as it is. That's who I am. I can, I'll just, if you get to know me in real life, it's even worse. I call it like it is and I own it. You got to own who you are. In this world today, I feel like we live in such a weird, strange time in this world today, and it's not good. It's not good at all. It's actually very detrimental to society as a whole. We live in this world where everybody's so scared to offend somebody or something, to say something offensive, and people are so oversensitive to where they're literally distorting reality and making random assumptions and wild assumptions and falsehoods on what someone else is saying, and they're taking that as some kind of attack towards them or something like that. I can't, I don't understand it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I think it's so detrimental to us as a whole society to be like how we are now. So I've always been one to call it like it is, even when I was a kid. And it's so funny. My name is Frank, so it's kind of, it's just so funny how everything is set up like that. But we do live in a society to where everybody is so afraid to offend somebody or be when in reality the only offense that's going on is what somebody is projecting in their own head, is what somebody is making up in their own head. Because more often than not, somebody that says something, whether it's bluntly or directly, not trying to offend anybody, just trying to get something done or say something. People are just so deluded these days. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, you go to a stone shop and you feel in people, and sometimes I'll actually sit down with somebody. It's fun. It really is fun to talk to somebody who is the real deal, can feel and understand energy, and in a stone shop too, where you're face to face. It's really cool, and no, I encourage people to do this. It really is nice. They might pick up something that you may not have known. They might see something that could be beneficial to you. Absolutely. They really might help you out. That's what they're there for anyway. So, but it goes back to what I was saying, is that it's like there's a lot of BS in this field, and one of the biggest offenders. And I'm not, when I say this, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that are duds. Some people think they're seeing something, but really it's something else. Some people just make stuff up. Some people don't understand anything. Some people are just in it for the money, I guess. Because one topic that I really want to talk about here in the future is in the near future, I'll make a video on, is about stones and how people are just making stuff up when it comes to stones and stone energy. That's probably like one of the biggest offenders in this whole spiritual and new age field is all these weird definitions and things in regards to certain stones that people are making up just to sell a stone, to be honest. People will take a stone and give it some weird name and then claim that it channels the seventh dimensional beings of whatever and come in and transform your whole life. You know, that's literally what's going on right now with stone energy. And one of the biggest offenders, and one of the more well-known stones, and the biggest offenders of this is angel aura quartz. Angel aura quartz is that clear quartz, whether it's points, clusters, that gets coated in a titanium powder. It's a powdery titanium, and so it coats the surface, and then they take that crystal that's been coated with the titanium powder, they put it into an industrial oven and superheat it overnight, maybe 24 hours, 36, 48 hours, 2 days, I don't know. And when it comes out, because it was heated to such a high point, the coating, the powder that mineral fuses in with the quartz, and it becomes this iridescent colored, kind of rainbowy iridescent colored crystal. And because it's pretty, people like it, and people will say, "Oh my gosh, this is the stone, angel or quartz. It's the stone of love, whatever." No, actually, you when you do that with a crystal, you've literally done the opposite. In the worst way possible when it comes to the metaphysical energy. You've screwed it up so bad, you have no idea. And so, I don't have one to show you guys. You can look it up on the internet. I would never get one, but yeah, that's angel or quartz. And there's so many others like rose quartz, for example. Big offender as well. Rose quartz. People always say rose quartz is a stone of love. No, not really. Rose quartz just takes the heart energy, whatever you have, amplifies it. So if you're sad, if you're depressed, if somebody you love just passed away, and somebody said, "Oh, here's some rose quartz," and all of a sudden now you're going crazy, because it's amplifying the emotions that are already there. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in the future here, for sure, absolutely. I will definitely make a video on that. It needs to be said because there's so much misinformation out there right now in regards to stones. And the more I get into this business, the more I'm seeing it, the more it's being shined in the spotlight, and I'm just like, oh, I can't stand it. A lot of big names, bigger stores and companies that move a lot of stones around. They're the ones that are really pushing all this nonsense, all this BS. They're the ones, they're the biggest perpetrators of this. So we'll talk about all the BS that's out there. But and going back to what I'm saying, it's like when you're giving somebody a reading, it's uncertain to, like, a lot of you guys want to know the future, your future, and I completely understand it, but when you're giving somebody a reading, it's not easy. It's hard. The person has to have a basic understanding of how to engage their abilities to even do such a thing, and then, first of all, and then second of all, and then they have to be experienced enough to know what to look for, how to get it, how to pull the information, and to discern what's true, what's not. And sometimes it's and even if all those boxes are checked, the future changes. So it's like, you don't know. You never know. You never know. And there's also people that make stuff up, so you really have to, the practitioner, the psychic, the reader, blah, 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 really has to, have good discernment. And, that's not bashing these people at the shops or anything. I'm just, I'm not, or anybody else, I'm just not, I have to call it like it is, I just have to say it. There's a lot of BS out there in this field. You guys probably know that. The carrot that gets dangled in front of everybody's face these days, because it's like, going back to the quote, you have to know, for you to understand anything, you have to know your spirit, who you are. That's the first thing. Know who you are as spirit, such energy. Number two, know what's been done to you. And number three, understand everything else around you. And before you can have a basic understanding of anything, you have to know that, and then you can start building something. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're looking at that carrot that's dangled. If you don't have any of that, what you're doing is you're trying to find something out there, because deep down, like I said, deep down there's more to this life. There's more to the world, to the universe, to everything out there than just the physical life, waking up, going to work, blah, blah, blah. Right? So, but if you don't have that basic understanding of what really is, what happens is there's a carrot that gets dangled out in your face, and you're chasing this carrot. And the carrot's very shiny and sensationalized and pretty, and that's that's what and you're just going to chase it forever because you're just going to be running around in circles. But that's what a lot of these new agey topics are these days. So I want you guys to know, don't ever compare yourself to anybody. We are all on our own path. I've said it 5-10 years ago. I'll say it 5-10 years from now. It'll never that fact will never change. Everybody's on their own path. Some people are further along. Some people are just starting. Nobody is because somebody is ahead of somebody does not mean the other person is wrong or at fault. It totally it doesn't work like that. So use black tourmaline, guys. If you're getting messed with, use black tourmaline, and I suppose I'll talk to you guys soon. I think that's pretty much it. I've covered most of what I wanted to say in this video. Self-awareness. I'll drop a link below with that video I was talking about that I made last year, I think. Talking about that, the metaphysical and spiritual awakening. Two sides of the same coin. You got to have both. You got to have the metaphysical, you got to have the spiritual. They are the two sides of the same coin that make you a complete whole. And to do any of that, it's all about self-awareness. Being aware of who you are. It's such an underrated word. I guarantee if you just take time out of your day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, if you've just discovered me, my spiritual work, basically take time out of your day, 5-10 minutes a day, to relax, meditate, right? And just discover yourself. Find out who you really are. Feel inside your body. Feel inside your core. Your what the Indians call the Kundalini. Up and down your spine. Okay, it's literally your core. It's literally your spirit. The strongest energy in your body is that Kundalini. It's literally who you are. Not the chakras or any particular chakra, but that core. That's the strongest energy point. Feel inside that, and then feel yourself. See who you are. Feel who you are, and get familiar with that feeling. There's different fields of energy. There's souls, there's essence, there's more fae, there's animals, there's plant, essence. Like, feel who you are, and go from there. I have a lot of videos that I made. You can go through that in the past as well, talking extensively on this, and I think I covered a good portion of it in this video, but I know other videos in the past were made, like hour-long videos were just made just for that topic alone. This video, I think I was kind of scattered here and there, a little bit of, here and there, because I'm kind of tired. My brain's not so linear right now. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys soon.